Aubrey Marcus says, as you weave your individual threads of destiny through this beautiful tapestry of life, one truth stands out. Your vital life force energy is the rate limiting factor in achieving your potential. Energy ignites your passions, fuels your creativity, and propels you to your life's mission and purpose. There is a highly refined energy to having energy and getting stuff done, because you know you're on the right timeline and doing the best you can. Without energy, you are destined for mediocre results. But energy is not just a generic force. It expresses within you as your own unique force. Each of us, each of you, carries a distinct vibration, a unique tone without which the song of the universe is incomplete. When you turn up the volume, you not only elevate yourself, but also uplift those around you. Here are 5 reasons to boost your energy. 1, clarity of purpose. When your life force is vibrant, you're able to clarify your desire to accomplish your mission. You have the attention to listen to the whispers of your potential, guiding you toward what truly matters. This clarity allows you to chart the course of what you know you should be doing, and when you have the energy, you'll follow through. 2, resilience and challenges. Life will inevitably present challenges, but strong life force energy gives you the resilience to face them head on and empower you to rise from setbacks, learn from experiences, and continue moving toward unwavering determination. That's something I'm working on today. I had a few embarrassments, and I feel like I just thought I was failing, but actually at least I was able to find a way into new territory. 3, creative expression. Your vital energy is the wellspring of creativity. When you nurture it, you open the floodgates to inspiration, allowing your unique gifts to flow into the world. This is the propulsion system to allow you to write that book. Create something beautiful beyond the requirements, basically to write the book or create something beautiful, basically beyond the requirements of the daily grind. Energy is the lifeblood of the artist. 4, connection and impact. A vibrant life force fosters deeper connections with others. You make that extra phone call. You talk to a few more people at the party. You meet a stranger. When you're alive with energy, you radiate positivity and curiosity, inspiring those around you to awaken to their own potential and show up in service to the whole. 5, living in alignment. Ultimately, harnessing your vital life force means living in alignment with your highest self. It's a burning fire that warms you to manifest your desires, passions, and dreams without the weight of the struggle or the stagnation of procrastination. When you live authentically, you become a beacon of light for others, showing them what's possible. We can engage in practices like play, dance, movement, breath work, or time in nature. They're all a huge lift. Also, we surround ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us and let go of anything that drains our energy. As soon as we learn something that's from Aubrey Marcus, but I wanted to share from the Hayom Yom, the Daily Reader, by the Frierdiker Rebbe. Today is actually a very special day. That is, he was freed from a sentence that at first was death, then 10 years in exile, then 3 years of harsh labor, then just basically it was all wiped away. He had help in a natural way from God creating it, but it was all a miracle, very clear miracles. And he was threatened, and it was inhumane conditions, and so on. Anyway, he had a lot of teachings. He was the 6th Lubavitch Rebbe. The 7th wrote a daily reader called the Hayom Yom from his teachings compiled. So on Monday, 20 Teves, which is not today's date, but it's from, I'll just share this one. It says, when two discuss divine service and they study together, it's like 2 godly souls, and they're both ganged up or tied up against one natural soul. Why? The Rebbe Rayatz, Frierdiker Rebbe, says it's because the godly souls unite. They desire to help each other. So each person's godly soul is helping the other one. So me and your godly soul are helping me to fight my natural soul. It's 2 against 1. But the natural soul doesn't understand unity. It is opportunistic, self-interested, closed, ingenuine, and I want to share a quote from Kedushin, I think 63b. It says, one does not sin unless he himself gets a benefit. So basically, it's something very self-interested. It's specifically a situation here where it's like the godly souls don't help the animal souls don't help each other. So my animal soul won't help your animal soul get what it wants, but my godly soul will help your godly soul. And then there's this other idea I wanted to share, which is as soon as we learn something and really master it, a student is sent our way to learn it from us, and that will challenge us. And then I want to share on Instagram, there's an account, it's called Alpha Advice, or Alf Advice, from their Tactician's Handbook. It says, the dumber the people around you are, the more aggression you must show to be respected. The smarter the people around you are, the less aggression you must show to be respected. Never act like a gentleman with savages, and never act like a savage with gentlemen. The savage will spit in your reasonableness, generosity, and mercifulness. The gentleman will not lend you the credibility of his reputation if he observes a wild animal. Being aggressive around smart people is a lack of social intelligence. You'll be viewed as primitive and inferior, but not being aggressive around dumb people is a lack of social intelligence. You'll be viewed as weak, inferior. Different value systems determine how respect is earned. Some situations demand finesse, other situations require force. Knowing when to use either is what separates the weak from the powerful. I want to share for the Tanya from the Alter Rebbe. So the Alter Rebbe is the first Lubavitcher Rebbe. He says, in human emotions born of the intellect, the heart comprehends with the spirit of wisdom and understanding in the brain. Instead of being excited, but with the love of God, there's two states. One, the emotion has been born and revealed. Two, prior to that, when the emotion is still part of the intellect, existing merely of an intellectual inclination toward the object of one's understanding. These two stages are similarly found in the divine attributes, which we call the midos, the measures of chesed and gevura, which prior to the revealed state exist in their source, which is bina, the supernal intellect. And thus the souls that, and because the soul stems from divine attributes and hence reflects their characteristics. So that's why the soul has this and the divine attributes that it's reflecting. And thus the souls which derive from the attributes in the revealed state possess the quality of revelation and can bring love of God into a revealed state, while those concealed state souls lack this capacity, and their emotions remain concealed within their intellect. I want to talk about I want to share from a talk I had with Antonia Tova. Abuse, dysfunction, emotional unavailability, neglect. It prevents skills, because the skills that we might want to learn, which are like presence and tolerance during discomfort, compromise, integrating the expanded I am with the smaller life I am, with all the inner smaller I ams from trauma when they got stuck, for example, having to be the helper, fixer, the comforter, convincer, over-explainer is part of the way it was necessary to survive those situations, usually early, but we don't have to continue doing that. Also confusing our own healing and wellness with taking responsibility for others, thinking that thinking that could actually grow us and change us, that we could learn and we could adapt. And conflict resolution, loyalty and commitment, discipline, which is self-respect and self-confidence also, because with your discipline, you earn your self-respect and your self-confidence. Balancing idealism with realism, honest expression versus beating around the bush and sugarcoating and manipulating. For example, when somebody is doing gaslighting because of walking on eggshells. Avoiding our own opportunities for turning breakdowns into breakthroughs because we're focusing on others' emotions is something we might lose. It's a skill we might lose if we are part of a dysfunction, emotional unavailability, neglect, or abuse pattern cycle dynamic. And then, of course, intellectual honesty about opinions versus facts, and moral honesty about true intentions. And I think our last topic today will be from Rabbi Avram Aryeh Trugman's book called 70 Faces. So it's just like random facts. In Tainus 19b to 20a, it says, Diman ben Gurion stopped the sun in the sky during a water shortage when the evening passed on the last day of his 12 days. The Romans gave him to borrow the 12 cisterns of water, and by his prayers the sun stopped and shone after they claimed it already set, and then rain fell and filled the cisterns. So that was a miracle most people don't know. In Archen 16a, it is asked in the Talmud why the passage describing the priestly garments is juxtaposed to the passage detailing the various sacrificial offerings, Parshas Tetzaveh, brought by the inauguration of the Mishkan. The provided answer is that just as the sacrificial offering atones for the various sins and misdeeds, so do the priestly garments worn by the Kohanim, the priests who perform their service for all of Israel. And here I'm going to list through all the Oh, and one comment in Shemos 28, which is Exodus 28:2, sorry. It says that the Kohanic sanctified garments were made for glory and splendor. Okay, let's go through some of the garments. So the tunic, this is called the ketonet. It's for bloodshed. This garment comes to atone for the brothers dipping Yosef's tunic, one of the 12 tribes, his tunic, one of the 12 brothers, in the blood of a goat in order to deceive their father Yaakov. The trousers, which are called mechnasayim, this atones for immorality. Underwear that covers the sexual organ comes to atone for sexual immorality. The turban, which is the mitznefet, corrects for arrogance. As Rav Chanina said, let something worn high on the head come to atone for haughtiness, or high-heartedness. The sash, which is called the avnet, is unrectified thoughts of the rectifies unrectified thoughts of the heart. The sash was worn right below the heart, thus it atones for improper musings of the heart. The sash was also 32 amos long measurement. 32 is the numerical value of the Hebrew word for heart, lave. Breastplate, choshen, judgment. It atones for judgment. It was actually called the breastplate of judgment. The apron, the ephod, was atoning for idolatry. Hosea 3:4 juxtaposed the ephod next to the teraphim, which is a type of idol worship. The robe, the me'il, atones for evil speech. Since the bottom of the robe had bells hanging and would thus ring as the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, moved, it came to atone for the sound of evil speech. And finally, the head plate, which is called the tzitz. It atoned for brazenness. It was worn on the forehead, the symbolic body part associated with brazenness. We'll stop here, and I'll wish you a very good night and a lot of good company. All the best. Bye.